Your Excellency, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite you, sir, to the podium so that you may address the people here gathered. I thank you.
Pray, be seated. Our Director of Ceremonies, Comrade Manyika, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable KDC Mohadi, the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs for Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, Honorable Masuku, and other ministers for provincial affairs who are present here. I am aware Mat North, Mat South, Midlands, Harare are here. The Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Dr. Joram Gumbo, and his counterpart, the Minister of Transport of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Joe Maswangani, who is with us. Most welcome. Other ministers and deputy ministers who are present here, members of parliament who are here, chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Chitindi, His Worship the Mayor of the City of Bulawayo, Councillor M.K. Moyo, Chairperson of the National Railways of Zimbabwe Board, Mr. L.D. Mavima, and board members who are present. Chairperson of the Diaspora Infrastructure Development Group, Mr. Chimanda Manda. Chimandamba. And board members who are present. Transnet Group Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Gama, the Country Manager for Zimbabwe, Mr. F. Ndlovu, Executive Director, Southern African Railways Association, and the CEOs from other railways in the region. Senior government officials here present, NRZ management staff, and the heads of other parastatals, captains of industry and commerce, distinguished guests, Master of Ceremony, you didn't recognize our musician icon who is here, Tuku Tuguzi. Come up. I'm Tuguzi Kuno. Wakone. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the other day, the Vice President, who has introduced me, I don't know what had excited him. He whispered into my ear and said, Comrade Mnangagwa, I would like to be president also sometime in future. Then I told him what to do. I said, commit some crime, be sentenced to death, and still survive. Number 2, be poisoned and still survive. Number 3, have 9 youth interface rallies and still survive. Become a border jumper and still survive. Then I'll vote for you. It is with great pleasure that I address you on this historic occasion where we are witnessing the reception of essential resources for our railway system under the National Railways of Zimbabwe Diaspora Infrastructure Development Group, DIDG, Transnet Consortium Recapitalization Initiative. I am certain that this marks the turning point of our rail infrastructure as we endeavor to provide enablers to fully industrialize our economy. I am informed that under this deal brokered between National Railways of Zimbabwe and the DIDG Transnet Consortium, the National Railways of Zimbabwe is receiving 13 locomotives, 200 wagons, and 34 passenger coaches to address key resource gaps in its operations as an interim solution while negotiations for the recapitalization program are being finalized. Today, we received the first batch of equipment here at the Bulawayo station. This development is commended as it resonates well with our vision to grow the economy and at the same time ensure that the city of kings and queens is yet again the industrial hub benefiting our great nation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the rail system is essential in the transportation of bulk and heavy goods to strategic sectors such as mining, agriculture, and manufacturing industries. To this end, the significance of an effective and efficient railway system cannot be overemphasized. More so in a landlocked economy like ours, as it enhances our ability to compete and integrate ourselves into regional and international markets. An efficient railway system further significantly reduces the cost at which we land our products in such markets. It has been observed that most landlocked countries in Africa incur higher inland costs to move goods to and from seaports, making products uncompetitive across borders. As a result, transport costs have been cited as one of the major obstacles to international trade and economic growth in Africa. In this regard, the Southern Africa Development Community SADC industrialization strategy and roadmap identified the expansion, upgrading, and interconnection of the regional transport road, rail, air, and ports as key in enhancing trade flows and the mobility of factors of production. Increased investment is therefore needed to improve the quality of the regional transport network across all modes while promoting alternative renewable energy sources for the rail transport sector. In line with these SADC guidelines on the industrialization strategy and roadmap, my government is committed to ensure the modernization and rehabilitation and refurbishment of our rail system, and also establish new networks which penetrate into our region. This will in turn hasten regional integration and enhance our ability to offer lower transport costs based on economies of scale and reduced cost of doing business. A rejuvenated railway network will therefore not only benefit the country, but other countries in the sub-region, and in particular, those who are north of us. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my government is seized with the need to resuscitate large domestic industries in mining, agriculture, and manufacturing sectors. As such, Zisco, Mashaba Mine, Coal Storage Company, Willowvale, and David White Textiles, among others, are on my agenda to resuscitate. Comprehensive strategies have been put in place to revive the transport sector to enable and facilitate this projected growth, especially with regards to the railway system. An efficient railway network will help remove bulk cargo from our roads and transfer it onto the railways. Hence, our road and railway projects must be complementary and concurrent where possible. The current scenario whereby road transport is moving a lot of bulk cargo damages our roads and makes the roads unsafe and inconvenient to ordinary motorists. It is my sincere hope that once the railway network has been restored to acceptable levels of efficiency, the necessary steps will be taken to move bulk cargo away from roads to railway. In the same vein, I would like to exhort the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development to expedite the commencement of the dualization of the Bait-Bridge-Rundu Highway and the many other road construction and rehabilitation projects throughout the country. Any impediments in this regard must be urgently resolved so that our people can enjoy the associated safety, convenience, and efficiency of these essential public utilities. Mr. Minister, the road between Bait-Bridge, Masvingo, and Harare has caused a lot of deaths among our people. I urge you, Mr. Minister, to expedite the dualization of that highway from the south to the north. As I have pronounced, Zimbabwe is open for business. As such, the speed with which we address challenges within our infrastructure and transport sector must be in sync with this mantra. We cannot say Zimbabwe is open for business when our railway is down, when our roads are poor. The state and ambience of our roadsides must exude a country that is ready for business. When people look at our railway line, when they look at the trains which we use, the locomotives which we use, they should say, ah, indeed, Zimbabwe is open for business. I thus encourage the responsible authorities to mount billboards in strategic areas along highways that communicate the vision and aspirations of our nation as espoused in this new dispensation, Manika. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to commend the Diaspora Infrastructure Development Group and Transnet for putting together this deal with the National Railways of Zimbabwe to the tune of $400 million US. Given my administration's current efforts to turn around the economy, the timing of this project is most opportune. Furthermore, the DIDG has demonstrated their patriotism and a love for their country, and also shown confidence in the future of our beloved Zimbabwe. It is encouraging when my fellow Zimbabweans complement government initiatives by bringing such significant investment into the country. This investment will not only revive the railway network, but will also benefit downstream, backward and forward linkages and industries related to the operations of the railway system. The realization of these efforts we witness today will not only benefit industry, but will also provide efficient and affordable passenger transportation, a role that National Railways of Zimbabwe was constrained in fulfilling. It is my hope that with rehabilitated infrastructure and a better equipment, National Railways of Zimbabwe will be able to run dependable and consistent passenger train schedules. We should dream of an era where our major cities are connected through punctual, fast, and efficient passenger train service. My government will continue to support the restoration of the railways through this NRZ DIDG Transnet Consortium deal. I urge all concerned parties to move swiftly and meticulously to conclude outstanding matters for a win-win outcome. I'd wish to say, after my inauguration on the 24th of November, my first visit was to South Africa to pay my regards to the chairman of SADC, then President Jacob Zuma, who also looked after me during my diaspora days. I then met thousands and thousands of the diasporians from Zimbabwe in South Africa. And after I discussed with them, they assured me that they'll come together and participate back home, and they've done it. Congratulations. The same, I believe, is the wish and aspirations of other Zimbabweans in the diaspora in other countries. However, I would like to invite others in the diaspora to emulate this sterling gesture and invest in other projects in various sectors of our economy to accelerate the rebuilding and development of our motherland. In conclusion, may I take this opportunity to appreciate the patience, perseverance, and the resilience of National Railways of Zimbabwe employees and management throughout the difficult phases of the parastatal. I'm aware of your areas in terms of salaries, which machimbidzika kuuchira asanda pedza. Your minister has constantly pleaded for you in cabinet. So I'm here to assure the National Railways of Zimbabwe workers and the stakeholders that government, together with the National Railways of Zimbabwe board, will put in place strategies to make your business and working conditions change for the better. Do not despair or grow weary, but work and work and work. I can assure you, as President of the Republic, that we shall attend to your current challenges. It is necessary that for us as government to make the National Railways of Zimbabwe a pride of the nation, we must also look after the workers of the National Railways of Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, with these remarks, may I therefore declare and set the tone for the new National Railways of Zimbabwe course by officially receiving this first batch of the interim railway equipment on behalf of the National Railways of Zimbabwe and the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Siyabonga. Ndatenda, I thank you. God bless Zimbabwe.